Oh, okay, folks, how you doing? Right, another glorious pump episode. So I've spent a little bit more money this time. There were another couple of attempts with cheap pumps in between the last cheap pump torture test video I did. I mean, they performed so badly it wasn't even worth making a video. All right, so yeah, 80 quid this time. 80 quid for someone in the comments. That's 1.6. That 1 quid is 1.6 Canadian dollars. Still a bit puzzled why you felt the need to mention that, but you know, in case it's something I should be mentioning. So how many would that be? 80 times 1.6. More than 100? I don't know. Either way, this is a flexible vein pump. Yeah, this is a bilge pump for a boat. Got a glass-filled nylon housing, yeah, and a synthetic rubber rotor. We have a spare rotor it came with. You know, traditional vane pumps, solid vane pumps, the vanes slide in and out of the hub. So as they turn in the eccentric housing, or this is mounted eccentric in the housing, I suppose you could say, the vane goes in and out, and this area here changes as it comes to the outlet ports, thus pushing the liquid out of the outlet port. These are, God, I hate these, and these are my least favourite thing about outboard engines, yeah, because they're, you know, you've got to be on the ball. If an engine's been stood for a little while, chances are these rubbers are going to have taken a set and fall off, and it won't cool itself, will it? But the reason I got one is that they are obviously proven very well to work with sediment and sand and all the sorts of things you find on a beach that an outboard has no problem dealing with. Yeah, so we're going to give this a go. You know, I mean, now that I'm spending this sort of money, 80 quid, it's, you know, a lot of money for me. It opens up other avenues. So if this fails, we can try something else. You know, but obviously it'd be better if this worked. And the reason I have doubts as to whether or not it will work, it's a good, reasonably high volume pump, but being designed as a bilge pump, it's not really meant for a huge head. So we're limited as to how high this can pump water upwards. I've got about 30 feet to cover, and this doesn't have a max head written on it, but it does have a stall pressure, yeah, and stall pressure, what sometimes if you hear about pumps stalling, it just means that you've exceeded the head and the motor's still turning but the pump's not actually delivering. That's a pump stall, but in this case, because we've got a displacement pump, that pump stall is referring to the pressure at which the motor can no longer turn the rotor, yeah. So we've got stall pressure of 18 psi, and I reckon 30 foot, what did I calculate? I think 30 foot head of water is 12 psi anyway, so that doesn't give us an awful lot of leeway. Sorry, all the spiders in my hat are crawling into my ear. And yeah, I kind of feel silly for not having gone with a ball pump, because some of them probably not quite as robust, but definitely cope with the head. Either way, today we'll find out. You know, on the plus side, if it's not suitable, I'll find out it's not suitable rather than destroying it, because it will just not turn, won't it, eh? So, okay, so you remember last time I had some cheap, shitty plastic non-return valves, some NRVs, check valves, whatever you want to call them. This time we've we spent a few quid on these nice brass items. These are not just a better material, but rather than having a sort of plastic spring inside like the other ones did, they were more of a shaped plastic cone that deformed to let water around it and then pop back over the seat. Didn't like the sorts of pressures, but not huge pressures, but either way they couldn't cope with it, and were very susceptible to the tiny little bits of wood that had got down the hole from me cutting wood above the hole or putting sawdusty wood over there. So yeah, these are full flow. See, these are only full flow for a half inch, so they should be the same. They should not impede, not restrict a half-inch pipe. Yeah, even though this is probably, it's getting on for 1.25 inches, isn't it? Yeah, that's the idea of these. So that should help. And they've just got a pin that goes all the way through, and a proper rubber seat, and I think it looks like a stainless steel spring. I hope it's stainless steel. Okay, we're all set up. Just got to switch it on. I'm just using the plug as the switch, and my extension lead's conveniently hung over the centre of the hole. We definitely need to tidy up the electrics. Once I know what we're doing with a pump, we can build a control box. In fact, we might do that next. We need another control box or something else, don't we? Pump's running. Pump's running. Pump's sucking. Pump's labouring. Pump's definitely labouring. Let's find the end of the hose. What do we do with the end of the hose, eh? Who knows? Alors, qu'est-ce que c'est? Où est le end of the hose? That's French. Where the fuck's my hose, mate? Yeah, she's not quiet. She's not quiet. Let's go and find the hose, see if it's actually delivering anything. Nothing coming out yet. It's only 8 gallon per minute, so maybe it's still not reached the end, eh? Where's the end? It must be here. We've got one piece going in, nothing coming out. Well, look, we already failed. Maybe I could coax it into working if I applied a bit of suction to the line, but this has pretty much answered my questions about this pump. It's very unfortunate that they didn't give a max head. It should have worked according to the stall pressure, but I guess the vanes are deforming with the pressure. I don't know. The pipe's still got fluid in it, water. Upwards of the non-return valves. Doing some training. Maybe they're Ukrainians. Who knows? What are we saying? Oh, that camera didn't like going from aeroplanes to underground bunkers, did it? Come on. Focus, you fuck. Yeah, that's better. Right, so the long and short of it is, it is not working straight away. It's never going to be good enough to work reliable, is it? I'm going to get a bore pump. Alright, folks. New pump day the 2nd. Eh? What are we going to call this? So I've got no idea. No experience with well pumps, ball pumps, or whatever. I don't know whether they're all made like this, but this is a. I know whether externally, I know they're not all made like this, because it's more common to have something with less snags on it that will fit down a small bore pipe, I suppose. I don't know. Stainless is normally normal to see them like a lot longer than stainless, but I suppose they're higher output pumps. This is it's only got an 8 amp pull on it, so half the power consumption, but significantly less volume than the other one. But at the same time, they reckon on 100 foot, so at least we've got the head written down here. To 1.6 gallons a minute, or 6 litres a minute, 12 volt again. What was really exciting about this is, you know I like a nice pump. The swash plate pump, you know, it's one of my faves, and I certainly wasn't expecting this to be a swash plate pump. It's more than that. It's more than that. It appears that all the internals are plastic, just from the pictures that I've seen here. And it's not even a regular swash plate pump, it's a diaphragm swash plate pump, yeah? Which is pretty crazy when you think about it. I mean, we're probably, I suppose, you know, coming from an aviation background, I'm thinking of constant speed drive units, which are swash plate pumps and motors, and fuel control units, which are swash plate pumps on the older stuff, the older turbines and that. Don't really see them on light aircraft. Then those of you on plant and stuff, you know, the swash plate pump is an easy way to get a variable volume pump, isn't it? Well, it's not easy. There's nothing easy or cheap about a swash plate pump, is there? They're sort of top end pumps. But what we've got here is, fortunately, they've given us an exploderized view on this. Is look, you've got a bank of 3 diaphragm pump chambers that are attached to the end of the motor, and although it's not really clear on this one, if we look here, they appear to be arranged in such a way. I'll come on camera. Either way, you got the diaphragm spinning around on this bit and acting against this swash plate down below. I'm almost excited about fucking this up. I don't want it to fuck up because it's a 70 quid pump, isn't it? Which is still probably pretty cheap. But yeah, obviously the all the moving parts look to be plastic. I can't imagine there'd be metal at this price point, but yeah, exciting times. It will definitely work initially. It's just whether or not it will work for a long time, I suppose. It's got some nice big filters built in, so you know, I know a lot of you have said I should be filtering it, but here we go. This has got a reasonably fine mesh filter built into the top of it. Already set up for 1/2 inch pipe, and we've just got to hook these ends up really and give it a bit of power. I've got to put a bit of extra length on this, but yeah, it's, let's get it back down the hole and see what happens, eh? Okay, so pump's running at the minute. The non-return valves seem to be working very well, you know. I switch it on and water comes out instantly out of the end of all this hose pipe. We've got a 30 odd foot head, and we're going about 60 foot horizontally. So the NRVs are working sufficiently. Right. What I want to do now, we've got about 5 foot of water in the bottom there, so I'm going to do a timed bucket fill, 12 litre bucket, see how long it takes to fill this up, and then we'll shift a ton of water and then time it again. Okay, so 2 minutes 13 for 10 litres. It had increments on the inside. I only went to 10 litres, 2 minutes 13. Maybe I should have just stopped it at a minute and measured it, but there's no intermediate scale on that bucket, so I think this is more accurate. What's that give us per minute? I don't know, I need a calculator for that, don't I? Okay, so right now we're shifting about 4.4 litres a minute. Less than an imperial gallon, slightly more than a US gallon, I reckon. You're on about a litre per quart in you. It's just under, it's like 0.9 litres per quart, isn't it? Whatever, either way, a gallon a minute, and that pump's meant to run about 1.6, it said, 1.6 gallons a minute. All our hose pipes flattened off, look, it's gone all gaunt and skinny. So that means the non-return valves, both in the pump and the individual ones, the standalone NRVs, are not working properly, are they? Eh? Is that what it means? I think that's what it means. Anyway, or we've got a leak somewhere potentially. No, I don't think it means that, does it? Could mean that. No, it wouldn't. Of course it doesn't, because it'd just suck air back up with them, wouldn't it? In actual fact, no. Yeah, it must just be kinked somewhere, actually. Yeah, no, hang on. No, yeah, but you know, bit of both. Yeah, why hasn't it just sucked air back up? That doesn't make any sense. Okay, we had 60-mile-an-hour winds yesterday, so I lucky my bucket didn't disappear completely. I've gone down, I don't know, about 4 foot on the pump, so well over a ton of water we've pumped out, which is okay. Be interesting to see if there's any noticeable difference in delivery rate. Yeah, so we'll have another test now. Two minute 10 that time. Yeah, I've got a feeling that's a little bit quicker than it was last time. I thought it was 2:33, just from memory. It was a couple of days ago now. Let me just check, see if I wrote it down anyway. Alright then, folks. So we got look, my apologies for this water. I thought I had a brew barrel that needed washing, and I thought I'll just kind of wash it and use it for transporting water at the same time, and didn't. They obviously kicked up all the yeasty sludge at the bottom, so you can't really see what's going on here. Here's the little float switch. It's a 2-float switch like this one, yeah, but a lot shorter. I can't use the long one in here because the pump pickup is at the top of the pump, and the lowest float switch has to be above the pump pickup. I'm sure you can appreciate that. Pump's in there. Let's see if this little setup works. We just got a power supply. That's the positive feedback switch unit, and that's a DC-DC solid state relay. What's that rated at? I don't know. Is it 25 amp? Yeah, 25 amp. Well, that's more than enough, isn't it? I don't suppose we'll burn this out, but I just wanted to check it before we put it down the hole, see if it all works. Yeah. Well, we're pumping. Nice quiet pump this. Okay. So we're just getting to the first float, first yeasty float that is now dropping, and the pump should stay running until we get to the bottom float. Yeah. All being well. Not the fastest pump, but it doesn't have to be. Doesn't have to be as long as it's reliable. What a fantastic design that pump is, eh? I still amazes me that someone came up with that idea. A swash plate diaphragm pump. A swash plate multiple diaphragm pump. There you can just about see the second float through the yeast there, can't you? So we should switch off as soon as it trips that one. Alright, perfect. Alright. Hold my yeasty water and we'll tip it back in and see if it comes on at the right time. So it shouldn't come on when the first switch goes up. Yeah, first one definitely gone up. There we've got one little LED there. Let's go until the second one comes up. Hey! Wagons are rolling. Wagons are rolling. Nice. Nice. Works exactly as it should. Exactly as it should. Oh, and it's going to be yeasty in here now. I'm glad it's not summer because I'd be attacked by the bloody flies, wouldn't I? Hey, right. So that's good. That's good. I think that's all we need to know, isn't it? But so last video, I made a couple of enclosures, yeah, for the foundry and the bunker. This is the sort of shit that I'm you know, gonna throw in that box, the black one, and keep everything out of the way. I've got a 100 foot of 4-core wire, so I can run that down with the 12 volt, which means I don't have to have any of this gear at the bottom. You know, 4-core wire is going to do the switching, and obviously the power. The relay is going to switch the power on and off to the pump down at the bottom, and it should keep everything out of my way, apart from the bare necessities, apart from the switch and the pump. and once I get the sump installed, they'll be in the sump. So maybe it's better that we've gone to this style of pump. I don't know. Time will tell. Seems to be reliable so far. It's the only small bore pump that I've tried that will operate right down at those depths, centre of the universe, centre of the earth, whatever. The non-return valves do seem to be leaking slightly, but hopefully it's not too bad. You know what? The whole point of using this twin switch and the non-return valves is it's not constantly switching on and off. You know, every time it pumps a bit of water up, it doesn't switch off and come straight back on again, which will kill the pump on it. So it can run for a minute, 30 seconds, whatever, pump a not insignificant amount of liquid away, and then it'll be an hour before it comes back on again or something like that, you know. Right, cool. You know, and in the future, this is probably only a temporary setup. In the future, we'll have to come up with fail safes and a bit of redundancy in the system, won't we? But you know, a little way before we have to think about that. I am already thinking about routing of the water, because I think I need sumps in every room, to be honest. But if they're interconnected through the floor, you know, if I've got a never mind, look, I'll come up with something and tell you about it in the future. Alright, so we've got a pump, we've got a control system, and we can get on with it. Okay, right, see you down at the bottom next time. Cheers folks, bye bye.